A faithful stormy night at the great estate of Collinwood in 1840. For unknown to Barnabas Collins or any of the others who live here, Letitia has come under the spell of the evil head of Judah Zachary. He has commanded her to find a way to join his head so that he may use his powers again. Letitia enlists the aid of the one person most qualified to help, Dr. Julia Hoffman.
Where is the body?
There.
It's not moving.
Not yet.
What do
No.
you... What do you mean? Have you seen it move? You told me you hadn't. What is that, Letitia? Judah Zachary.
Yes.
You're part of it. You're in his power.
Julia.
No!
He needs you so, Julia. His eyes. His eyes always seem to speak to me. And when I stare at him, I know that I must do what he asks of me. Do you feel that too, Julia?
Yes,
And you know what it is we must do?
he's told me. We're to join the head with the body.
But how do we start?
No pulse. No heartbeat. No respiration.
But I have found him in the woods. I led him here. He walked.
Was his hand this cold when you were with him?
Yes.
Let me have your brooch.
What for? Julia, what you going to do with the pin? Now you'll hurt him!
No blood. The body is perfectly preserved.
But how could he have walked?
At least now we know where we're starting. We have a great deal of work to do before we can start the operation.
An unsigned note left on a table. By whom? Soon I will know if it's true.
Joanna is dead and you are responsible. Oh, Mrs. Purdy, come on in, won't you? Won't you wait in the drawing room? It's so very kind of you to come to Collinwood.
It's a pleasure. I've always wanted to see this house. I just wish it were a happier occasion.
Yes. Joanna is dead.
As soon as I got your letter, I knew you wanted the details.
No, I didn't want them. But I must know.
I don't make many moral judgments, Mr. Collins. When I rented the little cottage to her, I didn't ask any questions. I knew that she was a young widow, and she didn't seem to have any family, but that was all she told me.
Oh, yes. Now, you were very kind to her, and I thank you for that. You were also kind to me.
I didn't really become Joanna's friend until after you stopped coming there. I did become her friend then. She needed me. She was never herself after you left. Never herself. She got so that she wouldn't leave the cottage. And when I'd go there, she'd talk of nothing but you. I'm sorry, Mr. Collins, but that's the truth.
Mrs. Purdy, I couldn't get a divorce. That's why I couldn't go there anymore. Didn't she tell you that?
Well, she was never clear, and she kept getting worse and worse. One time she'd talk as if you'd just been there, and then the next time she knew it. But you hadn't been there in months. The last time I went to the cottage, she was so happy. She told me it was your birthday and that you were coming to dinner. Well, I knew that you were at sea. I told her. And I shouldn't have.
What did she do?
Nothing then. That night I couldn't sleep. I kept feeling something was wrong. So I went to the cottage, and there I found her lying on the floor. She had cut her wrists. And that isn't all, Mr. Collins. After that, she was never herself at all. She didn't seem to want to live. And finally, there was nothing to do, and the doctor insisted she went to an asylum. Well, I couldn't look after her properly, and there was no one else to look after her. They wouldn't let her have any visitors. I guess there are things that go on there that they don't want people to see. Well, after she'd been there for 3 months, a man came to my house from the asylum. She had escaped.
Did she come to you?
No. They found her body a month afterwards. It had been swept ashore.
Mrs. Purdy, did you identify the body?
Yes. I gave her a proper resting place in the little cemetery between here and Bucksport. But that's all that I could do.
I just can't believe it.
But it's true, Mr. Collins.
Oh, no.
And nobody was at the burial but me.
But somebody else knows. Somebody else blames me as much as I blame myself. Look.
But who could this be?
I don't know. Listen to me. I kept wanting it not to be true. I don't mean that I'd ever see her again, even if she were alive. The ending that happened, well, that's the only ending that we could have had. But the way it happened. Now, look, I thank you very much for coming here.
I'll be going now. My carriage is waiting.
Good evening.
Good afternoon.
I can't believe it.
Yes,
Mrs. Collins?
do you know me?
Well, I know about you, as you must about me. I'm Daphne Harridge. Mr. Collins hired me. I'm the new governess.
Mr. Collins hired you?
Didn't he tell you?
And he was expecting you here today?
Mr. Collins specifically said,
Oh, he did he?
I'm sorry to be upsetting you, Mrs. Collins. I had no idea.
Good afternoon, Miss Harry. Won't you come on in? Cook is expecting you. Kitchen is right through this door, and she will show you to your room. You'll meet Tad in the morning. I want to go over his books with you later.
How dare you?
How dare I what? See that my son gets his education?
Cook is expecting her.
She seemed the logical person to tell it.
And I am not.
I'm sorry, I just couldn't imagine you fixing up a room.
I hire the governesses. You do not.
That used to be one of your duties.
And it still is.
I'm taking charge of Tad.
Oh, no, you're not.
He's my son, and he always will be. He's going to be a son of whom I can be proud. I'm going to raise him as I see fit. And if you don't like it, my dear, you can get out.
At last I am in his house. I must be very careful he does not know how near death is.
Do you see me in your future, Gerard? Because I am. I have to be. Darling, I couldn't come before. Quentin won't ever let Tad go, so I must stay too. But that doesn't mean...
What doesn't that mean?
That doesn't mean that you will never hold me again. Hold me. Gerard, hold me.
No.
You love me, Gerard. You married me.
The marriage is not legal.
You loved me enough to marry me. How can love change in 3 days? Quentin has been here to see you, hasn't he?
No.
He told you to leave me alone. He's threatened you.
Quentin is my friend. He trusts me.
We'll show him how foolish that is, won't we? Won't we?
No, Samantha.
Why? Out of some demented sense of loyalty to him?
That's just as good a reason as any.
But that's not the real reason. No, it's not. Gerard, I know you. I fell in love with you. I know your faults. I know your virtues. Nobility does not happen to be one of them. Why have you changed toward me?
When the sea is rough, I act a little differently than when it is calm. You claim to know so much about me, but you've forgotten that fact, haven't you?
You've never loved me. It was the money, wasn't it? It was the money and the position. You wanted to become Quentin Collins. That's what you wanted. To be Quentin.
I wish you hadn't have told me that, Gerard. I hate the thought of a frantic woman. Even Samantha. You know, Samantha's the kind of a woman who doesn't give up anything. She's a collector of things. And people.
Well, I realize that I risked our friendship by telling you, Quentin, but I feel that we must be completely honest with each other.
Or?
We become enemies.
Oh, we both have enough of those, don't we?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, don't be.
I beg your pardon.
Every door should be opened. And of course, you should open every door.
He's mad. Don't believe a word he says. Gerard, this is my new governess for Tad, Miss Daphne Harridge. Gerard Stiles.
Well, I am not very well educated. I do hope that I can join all of your classes?
Oh.
I think you know quite enough already, Mr. Stiles.
Well, then I shall have to adopt a child and steal her from you.
No. She's going to be working here for so long, she's going to become so fond of us, she'll never want to leave.
You said you wanted to show me Tad's school.
Yes, certainly, of course. Come on. Oh, will you excuse us, Gerard?
Of course. But you must promise to send her back to me.
Alone? I'll see what I can do. We use the playroom as a school also.
Lovely. Truly lovely.
Excuse me.
Oh, I see Quentin kept his word. He sent you back to me.
No, I forgot my reticule.
Oh, indeed you did. And quite a mistake, too.
No, I had no need of it.
I should hope not. Unless, of course, you plan to kill Quentin Collins. What a remarkably modern-day woman you are. Carrying a pistol.
You?
Yes, of course. I went through it. I am shameless. And I do whatever I want to do. And I do want to know something about you. That was the only way. Tell me. Why do you carry it?
That is none of your
Oh,
business.
but I'm afraid it is. You are my business. There's no other way.
I'm sorry, I'm afraid there is.
By hating me? I think it'd be far nicer to end up falling madly in love with me.
Falling in love with you.
With me. It will happen, you know.
Excuse me.
Governesses, I thought, only carried pencils and books, not pistols.
You know how the last governess died. I don't intend that to happen to me. Good afternoon, Mr. Stiles.
Oh, no, my dear. It's not good afternoon. I shall walk you to your bedroom.
I've gotten the bandage and the wood alcohol. But the apothecary in the village just laughed when I asked him for these drugs.
You'll have to get them.
But where?
Bangor, I suppose.
Oh, everyone will want to know why I'm going.
You must lie convincingly. We can't take any chances.
I know that.
We must have everything on that list. Unless we do,
Will you be able to do it, Julia?
if we get everything, perhaps I will. I don't know.
Oh, if we fail. I don't want to see his eyes if we fail.
Who could know about Joanna and me? Who?
Samantha, tell me, have you seen Daphne Harridge around? I've been looking for her everywhere. She seems to have totally disappeared.
What are you doing in this house?
Well, I've come to see friends, of course.
Get out!
I'm afraid only Quentin can tell me to do that.
Get out! Get out!
Do we? Yes, I believe I will. I have an appointment to see Flora. We are going to play a game of whist before bed.
And never come back! Never!
another note. And it's her writing. Now, who's sending these things to me?
We said it was over, that we have no chance for happiness. That your wife would never allow what we both wanted so much. But for so long now, I've ached to see you, to hear your voice, to feel the touch of your hand. Now I will again. This time we will not let your wife ruin it for us. This time we will be together. Oh, my darling, we've been given a second chance.
Then she cannot be dead. It's got to be a mistake.
But she is. Mrs. Purdy said she is. But then, how did I get this thing? How?